So once you've completed the quest, smithing, so unsurprised.
I like the idea of spinning up a second old school instance essentially alongside it, but for a fixed period of time.
Hey, what's up guys? Today I just wanted to talk about some of the upcoming updates I'm super hyped for. So the first thing, I don't know if many of you have actually heard about this. There hasn't been too much said on this, but the Last Man Standing changes. So currently the way Last Man Standing is played, it's not like any PvP in the game currently at all. So you could be amazing in the wilderness, go try Last Man Standing and not do very well. But they're looking to change that. It's going to be more of an actual like hybrid minigame, which is what I was expecting when it first came out. When you start out, they're going to give you a setup of Mystic and Rune and Black D'hide and Rune Crossbow, so you're actually tri-breeding. You're going to have Infinite Prayer. I don't know how I feel about the Infinite part, but I do agree with not having to worry about prayer flicking as much and more worrying about actually tri-breeding. They're also looking for some updates to the rewards. I think they're looking for ideas from the community for that, so that's still up for, if you want to suggest something, I think they're still looking for ideas. As for when this is coming out, I don't have any information, so I think this is one of the updates that's still a ways away. So there will be a link down in the description to the dev blog of the Last Man Standing changes, so go ahead and check that out if you want to see more. Next up is Song of the Elves. I'm sure all of you guys have already heard about Song of the Elves and all of the rewards and stuff. It's looking to be a very good update. I can't wait for it. And I'm not going to go over everything in this video about that, but there is one new piece of information that was released with the last update. And that is the release date of Song of the Elves. So it's going to be released on July 25th, just a few weeks from now. So you want to make sure that you're prepared and ready for that update. I'm probably going to make a video talking about some of the stuff you can do to prepare for Song of the Elves. But that is pretty much all I have for that right now. So next up is probably the biggest update I could ever want for Old School. So I really hope that it actually happens. I'll go ahead and play the clip where Kieran talks about it.
Q&A.
So just before we go to that video, I've got an idea.
Go.
Thinking about like what we could do that's like as a separate like mode to Old School itself, and especially at the minute with Dead Man not currently there. The problem with Old School is one element. Firstly, the high scores are already full. All of these different bits, like why don't we just like I like the idea of spinning up a second Old School instance essentially alongside it, but for a fixed period of time. So we spin up another Old School for 2 months. We can modify that, so we could do some interesting things with it, like for instance locking it down to like a certain area, like sort of like what Swampledix does with his Mauritania. Like we could do something like that. I mean, we could even just say it's like Zero only wherever. We can make it Falador only, or that free-to-play area. Something like that, do it for a fixed period of time and see how far you can get in that time with its own high scores and everything like that. And I think there's so many different interesting things you can do with that. That's just one version, but like we could do it again next year and do something completely different with it, so that it just keeps it interesting and different, something different and a different way to play Old School. Especially when you're like maybe bored of your main or you want something to do on the side, stuff like that. But
chat seem quite in support of it. Someone has asked if it's like Diablo seasons. I get it sounds like that in a way.
It could be like it could potentially go to that degree. Like, but as a core concept, I think it might be quite fun to play with.
Swampscape, Pure Spam offers a suggestion of. That's a cool idea. Let us know.
So there's a whole bunch of different routes they could go with this. Like they said, they could lock it down to a certain area, like Swampledix. Personally, I'd like to see the full Old School, at least for the first time they do it. He also said it'd be for about 2 months. Personally, I'd like to see it a little bit longer than that, but whatever they do, I think it's going to be really cool and really fun. Kieran kind of mentioned it a little bit in the video, but like the high scores right now, if you start the game right now, you have no chance of becoming rank 1 or even getting to the top page or probably even the top 1000. And that competitive nature and that battle on the high scores for top ranks, and just to be the first person to get a 99 or the top page to get a certain 99, it just added another level, another layer to skilling that made it a lot more fun. When Old School came out, a lot of people were complaining about in pre-EOC how 99s weren't special anymore. If you got 99 magic or something, there's already 10,000 people, 20,000 people that had that, so it wasn't special anymore. And now Old School has reached that point where 99s aren't special anymore. And I think it'd be pretty fun to see another instance of Old School that just lasts for a short period of time for people who want to skill for that sort of thing. And it also works for PVM. There's already so many PVM items in the game. When you get a certain PVM item, all it really is gold, unless you're an Iron Man. Like, there's no specialness or uniqueness to getting that item. When you get the very first item of that item in the game, it just feels a whole lot different. Or even if there's already 5 other in the game, it's still different compared to when there's thousands in the game. So I think this is going to be really cool if they do it. That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to mention the Last Man Standing, and then this idea that I think not too many people saw or heard them mention. And then Song of the Elves, the release date, I'm not sure if too many people have read that in the dev blog either, so wanted to mention those things. So go ahead and tell me what you guys think. Are you excited for this? Would you vote no? Would you vote yes for a separate Old School instance that is kind of like seasonal, it only lasts for a few months or whatever? I've been asking for something like this for a long time, so I'm really excited. Let me know what you guys think. And that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.